indicate then that false religion is going to be destroyed.
Yeah, it does. Well, y'all kind of fell in line with false religion. Look like y'all kind of destroyed. Y'all.
Right now, we're just acknowledging the laws that says not to assemble and what have you. It's not preventing us from meeting and so forth in our preaching work, even though we're not going door to door right now, out of respect for you on that.
Okay, but even the assembling in the kingdom, y'all shut that down too, though, didn't you, brother?
Right now, for temporarily, yes. And that's in harmony with the Caesar's law saying, with the virus being the way it is, saying don't assemble in large groups.
So then what about when Caesar tell you completely to just stop preaching, period? You gonna obey that?
Right, when Caesar tell us something contrary to God's law and so forth, we don't comply. This is not contrary to God's law. We're still assembling together. We use Zoom. So the friends still talk.
But what about the witnessing work, the visible public, you know, that was one of the teachings that publicly others would be able to see the witness is still active, and that was going to be one of y'all identification marks and stand out above all other religions. You're not visible no more. Y'all have shut down.
We haven't shut down. We're still doing our witnessing work, but we're using other means. Telephone, writing letters, and so forth, and things like that. We recognize now that, again, with the pandemic, we're trying to comply with Caesar's law, but the witnessing work have not stopped. In fact, don't be surprised you get a letter in your door.
Oh, that's how y'all gonna do it now, with letters?
For now, until again, the government mentioned that we can assemble together, actually.
Right.
We're just doing this simply.
Let me ask you something, brother, and I want your honest opinion. You be honest with me.
Sure.
Do you honestly believe that them white men up there in New York or wherever they're located now, because they have relocated, I'm not sure. Do you honestly believe, and actually since the inception of that religion, it has always been ran by white males. They do got one ethnic, kind of half ethnic person up there now. Do you honestly believe that that is God's channel of communication to all mankind?
That's been my feeling, my thinking for the last 50 years. I became a witness in 71.
So your answer is yes, that you believe that them white men are the ones that God, the almighty God of the universe, is using to disperse
Christ mentioning a faithful and discreet slave that would take the lead during this time.
Oh, and because they use that term, that makes them them.
Yeah, that's been my feeling. I became a witness on my own volition and what have you.
Right.
I investigated.
One final question real quick. What's your nationality? I know you may say what that got to do with it, but let me ask you real quick. What's your nationality?
Most people, someone in my may
Like if you were filling out a job application, you know how they ask that question, what's your race? What would you put on there?
what do they use?
Well, that's actually an interesting point. Today they call us African American. If you were born in America, chances are my birth certificate. I was born in the '60s. Mine says Negro. Yours probably says Negro.
I was born in the 40s.
Ours changed from Negro to colored to black, from Negro to colored to black to now it's currently African American. Now here's an interesting thing, brother. Do you know that that is one of the signs that that Moses told the nation of Israel that in the last days would identify who the true children of Israel are, is that they would not know their identity. It would be robbed from them. So the reason you don't know is because you go to the Kingdom Hall and they don't teach you who you are as a nation. And in the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, you know it talks about the nation of this, the nation of that, the tribe of this, the tongue of that. But there's no discussion within there to really talk about the nations in the Kingdom Hall.
I appreciate your thoughts on that. I have mine and different from yours. I got mine. Again, this is how I've been feeling for the last 50 years.
Did you know that the bombs are coming, that the destruction of America is getting ready to happen? I know y'all teach that Armageddon's a global destruction, but Revelation clearly says that other places are going to rejoice whenever the final nation is destroyed. How are all nations going to rejoice if they've all been destroyed? I already knew he wasn't going to listen. I was just getting a little bit more information so that y'all could just hear what these people say and what they believe and what they teach. I just caught a Jehovah's Witness coming out of a vacant Kingdom Hall, locking the gate. And so hopefully his words were heard, but you can hear from his own fruition, they pretty much done shut it down, but he says they're just cooperating with Caesar for now. All right, well, what are you going to do when Caesar says shut down religion altogether? You're going to do it. So it's basically a bunch of BS. But I just wanted to get that documented, and that was a Kingdom Hall and one of their Jehovah's Witnesses. Looking at him, he's probably an elder.